Hey everybody, it's Dan with Pain For You. It's raining again, so I gotta sit under this gazebo here. Today's topic is bravery required, right? Bravery. Before I do that, we're gonna kind of just take a couple of breaths like we normally do. Get yourself centered. Soothe your thinking, soothe your body, get into a place where you can kind of receive this information. Breathe in the confidence, breathe out the stress. So, is bravery required? My immediate answer is, it would be nice, but it's not required. And why do I say that? Well, as you know, I often talk about knowing what's really going on. So if you understand what TMS is, then you understand that it is a distraction process created in the brain to protect us from what the brain has perceived as overwhelming, scary, dangerous emotions that actually don't fit with even our self-image and our self-image. And so it's protecting us from these emotions it feels that we can't handle, which essentially means our body's not at fault. If you're not that familiar with TMS, or you're brand new to watching my videos or the concept of TMS, pick up a book by Dr. John Sarno. I personally favor Mind Body Prescription. I think that's one of the better ones. If you'd like a really quick tutorial on what TMS is, you can go to painforyou.com. There's a free video right there on the homepage. It's 20 minutes. Instead of reading a book for 6 to 10 hours, you can basically watch a 20-minute video and get a real good overview as to what causes the vast majority of chronic pain and other chronic symptoms, and also what makes it chronic. So, do you need to be brave? Well, I don't believe so. I think when you have accurate information, accurate knowledge about what the cause of the pain is, and actually what the purpose is to distract you, you can really turn down the volume on the fear about your body being the problem, about this problem being a lifetime thing, because it's not. Again, accurate knowledge, accurate information, and an accurate assessment is really what allows you to get through this without having to be super, super brave. Because there's not really anything wrong with your body that's causing this. This is an overactive defense mechanism in our brain that's creating the pain or the other symptoms to distract us from things that the brain is perceiving as too overwhelming, scary, or dangerous. And so, knowing that's the case, it's kind of like TMS is a boogeyman. It's like, be afraid of your body. But it's really not anything to do with our bodies. So we can actually start to relax and turn down the fear a lot. And if you've watched any of my videos, I talk a lot about the mindset of indifference and like really not caring about the symptoms. Yesterday's video, if you didn't see it, is called Watch the Show. Watch the show really means know what TMS is, know that you've got it, and now you can kind of detach yourself from the symptoms and go, well, that's interesting. Isn't that fascinating? Wow, look what the brain is capable of creating. Turning on, turning off, moving locations, whatever it may be. And so, do you need to be brave? I say no. Yeah, sometimes it hurts. Sometimes the pain is excruciating. And Dr. Sarno even said that the pain from TMS is beyond what he's ever seen in medical science. I spoke to a lady 2 days ago, and we had this conversation about the severity of the pain. And she said, I've had a couple kids, and this pain is worse than childbirth. Now, I certainly can't relate to that, and I'm certainly not going to make that statement. But this came from a lady I talked to 2 days ago. And so the severity of the pain is absolutely almost unbelievable as to how much it can hurt. right? We can't even comprehend it, especially if we haven't experienced it. But again, once you recognize and realize that the true cause of the pain is not a damaged and broken, frail body that the doctors are pointing at the MRI saying, here's the problem, when you actually realize that your body's okay, you no longer need bravery. You've actually got accurate information, and you can, with logic and reason, say, wow, this is fascinating. It's not my body. It's an overactive protective mechanism that is no longer required, right? So if you know that your brain is just trying to protect you, look, your subconscious brain has been designed and created to keep you safe and, frankly, to keep you alive. And at this point, when the TMS symptoms first start, whether it be pain, numbness, burning, weakness, tingling, whatever it may be, reflux, IBS, gastrointestinal problems, headaches, whatever it may be, the purpose of that is to protect us. The brain actually believes that these emotions, which we've been taught are too overwhelming, scary, and dangerous, and you can't handle them, we learn that through our upbringing. But the subconscious brain is really our best friend. It's our protector. And instead of being angry at our brain for doing this to us, I can't believe you're doing this to us, it's really just trying to keep us safe. It's our job to learn what's going on, do the assessments, accept that that's what's going on, and then your job is really to do everything possible to convince this protector, this subconscious best friend of yours, that you're actually safe. And that, number one, you can handle the emotions. Number two, your body is not frail and broken, so there's no sense or there's no reason to be afraid of our bodies and of movement. And then really just by shifting our focus away from the symptoms or the pains, we literally send that message to the brain that goes, I appreciate you, thank you, I love you. Subconscious brain, I love you, thank you so much for trying to protect me. But you're overdoing it. I got this. I'm actually okay. And so please, you can turn off the danger alarms. You can turn off the pain because you're not really keeping me safe. You're just making my, quality of life miserable. And so it can be that matter of fact that by having the accurate knowledge and doing the assessments that say, yes, that is what's going on for me, you don't necessarily need to be brave, because as bad as the symptoms get, you can still be laying on the floor writhing in pain going, oh my God, this is fascinating. Holy crap. How wild is this? But still knowing intellectually, knowledge-wise, without a shadow of a doubt, that my body's not at fault. It's just this protective mechanism that's kind of been triggered because the brain wants to protect us. And again, your job is to convince it that the emotions are safe. How do we do that? We feel them. We learn to feel them. We learn to welcome the emotions. Watch that video, Hold an Open House for Your Emotions. Welcome your emotions. Embrace them, honor them, love them. They make you human, right? You don't want to be a robot walking around neutral, dead, right? That doesn't, because if you're dead this way, as far as negative emotions, you're dead this way. You're not going to be able to enjoy the positives, the ups, the joy, the love, the happiness, because you don't know how to be sad and cry and everything else. You're never going to understand what happiness feels like unless you've been really sad. And so, do you need to be brave? I don't think so. Would it be helpful when you're in the throes of your worst pain ever? Sure. Because sometimes a little bit of bravery might have you go, it's really bad, but I'm going to choose to remind myself of what TMS is, and yes, I do have it. And therefore, 3, I'm not going to be afraid of this, right? Because the fear's got to go first. And when you can detach yourself from this pain, as severe as it is, or these symptoms, as devastating and limiting as they seem to be, when you can detach yourself and watch it with fascination and go, huh, interesting. This is wild. And I literally, since the video that I just recently did about Watch the Show, I've literally had some people comment under the video that said, yeah, you know what, when I literally just watched it, it changed. And when I did not react with fear and panic, the pain shifted. It moved to another location. Then it went away completely. And you can literally, in real time, watch what the brain is trying to do to maintain this distraction. And when you don't fall prey to it with the panic and the fear, the brain scrambles a little bit and things jump. And guess what that does? It gives you that much more confidence in the TMS knowledge and diagnosis that that's actually what's going on. Because there's no way that simply by watching the watching the show and not freaking out about it, that would change the symptoms, unless it were TMS. Because if it were structural and something were wrong with your body, then there's no way you could influence it up or down with any amount of observation and just changing your thinking. So, is bravery required? I don't think so. Is it helpful? Yeah, when you got a flare up of pain and it's really bad, maybe a touch of bravery would help you just say, I know it's really bad, but choose to look at the knowledge and the assessment and the belief and really just turn down the fear anyway, even though it's massively uncomfortable. So keep in mind, massively uncomfortable, but not unsafe. So, I think accurate knowledge turns down the fear, so the bravery is not required. Because I know many of us, when we're in the throes of these pains, we don't feel very brave, and we kind of melt down a little bit. So it's not required. Just remember, knowledge, assessment, acceptance, those things make bravery a lot less important, because you know intellectually, cognitively, that you're okay. And with that, you can literally take an attitude of indifference, like, hey, I don't care if today's going to be wild pain, mild pain, doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna kind of watch the show. So, love you guys and gals. I hope this made sense. And for anybody who kind of feels they've got to be brave and warriors, not really. Be smart. Learn. Accept. Believe. And choose. Make a decision that this stuff is not scary, it's not a big deal, and that you can get better, and that the faster you can realize that you're actually okay and decide that you're not going to fall prey to this distraction mechanism, tell your subconscious, I love you and thank you for trying to protect me, but please, this distraction is not necessary, this protection is not warranted, and I deserve a much better quality of life. So thank you, I love you, but you can turn off that pain. So, hope you guys liked the video. Please comment below. Let me know if this was helpful. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Love you.